Hi guys, this is our lesson on how to critique art. Our objective is to be able to respond to art by observing, reading, listening, speaking, and or writing. This is the artwork that we're going to be looking at today. It is by the artist Kerry James Marshall, who I love his work. So what is a critique? Our word worth knowing is critique. A critique is a written or oral analysis of a work of art used to objectively judge art. So we're deciding whether we think a work of art is successful or not based on facts and reasons, not just saying I like it or I don't like it. So we want to be able to judge it effectively. So the type of critique we're going to be doing is called the 4-point art critique. So like it's in the title, there are 4 parts. So let's do a little brief overview and then we'll get into these in detail. So the first part is to describe it. So what are the facts? Who made it? When was it made? What is it made out of? Those types of things. The second is analyzing. So when you're analyzing it, you're thinking about what did the artists do? How did they arrange their composition? What are the elements and principles that you see? The third part is to interpret it. So think about what was the artist trying to say in their work? Why did the artist make this? How does it make you feel? So this is more opinion based. And last is to evaluate it. So based on the 3 things before, is this a successful work of art? And then why or why not? So you want to come up with your own opinion based on what you see in the work. So step 1 is describe. So what is the basic information you know? What are the facts? So think about if you go to a museum, they'll have a little museum card that will tell you the facts about the piece. So those are the types of things that you want to list. So the artist, the title, the date, the medium, which means what is it made out of, the size, the subject, the art movement, genre, or style. So you might not be able to find all of these things when you're looking at a piece of art, but try to list as many as you can find. So for our artwork we're looking at, the artist is Kerry James Marshall. The title is Black and Part Black Birds in America, Crow, Goldfinch. The date is from 2020. The medium is acrylic on canvas. The subject is a large black bird and small bird on a tree with birdhouses and leaves. So just describe what do you see in it. And then for the art movement genre style, I would call it a visual narrative. And I also did a little digging, and this is from the Black Arts movement. So once you get the facts down, you want to start analyzing it. So how did the artist create this artwork? What elements and principles do you see? So get your list of elements and principles and start breaking down what you see is most prominent in that work of art. What stands out to you? So when I'm doing an analysis, I immediately like to think about what is emphasized first. Where does my eye go first? And then I'll go back and see, okay, what elements are they using? And then what elements are they using to create what principles? You want to just pick a few that stand out to you. You don't need to go through this whole list. I would think about 3 to 4 maybe to discuss in your writing. So for this one, I immediately look at this and I see this big black bird. So I would talk about how this large black bird is emphasized in the piece. I could also talk about the movement that the artist created from the 2 birdhouses and the goldfinch in there. It's making a triangular type of movement. And then for elements and principles, I could talk about color. I could talk about balance. Is it asymmetrical or is it symmetrical? This is an asymmetrical balanced work of art. Proportion. The size of the bird, the black bird, compared to the small bird in the birdhouses. I could think about patterns I see in the leaves. Rhythm and movement, how the pattern's broken up, the movement of my eye within the piece. So I wouldn't have to talk about all of these, but I would want to pick at least 3, 4 that really stand out to me and then explain where you see them. So our step 3 is to interpret. So you're going to describe how the work makes you feel. So think about your own experiences, your own insights, and try to determine what the artist is trying to say. So look for any type of symbols or hidden meanings in this work. So for this, I thought this was a really good interpretation of this piece. You're thinking about how the artwork makes you feel, what makes you feel that way, and if there's any symbols. The crow is very large compared to the birdhouses and the smaller bird in the lower corner. The large black bird seems like an intruder or in a place it does not belong because it does not fit with the small houses. So giving me a little bit of insight on what they see. The artwork makes me feel like how someone feels when they go or move to a new place, like a new school. There are already friend groups and neighborhoods already established, and it is hard to come in and be accepted and feel like you belong. So this is a personal interpretation of what this could mean to this person. And they're also talking about what the artist did to make them feel that way. So this is a top-notch interpretation. So our last step is to evaluate. So put everything together from before and present your final opinion of the work. Is the work successful? It could be a yes or a no. There is no right or wrong as long as you can explain your answer. Think about why. Why do you feel this way? So what is your final opinion? What do you think and why? So a good place to start is I think it is successful because. I do not think this is successful because, and give a reason. So just to review on your 4-part critiques, you need to remember the following steps. Describe, analyze, interpret, and evaluate. Describing is just the facts. Analysis is what is emphasized in the work. What did the artist do? How did they use those art elements and principles? Think about the composition. For interpret, how does it make you feel? What does it mean? What is the artist trying to say? And then when you evaluate it, is it successful? And then why or why not? There is no right or wrong, but you need to explain your answer. All right, so when we're doing our little warm-ups and our critiques, I want you to use this method, and I can't wait to read your writing. Bye, guys.